Hello, everybody. Welcome, my lovelies, to my Love Island USA recap and review. Episode 2, Season 5. Guys, a lot happened. And it's the second episode. We're going lightning speed here. And I understand Love Island USA is 6 weeks, but it felt like a week in the villa today. So let's discuss. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. We were just coming off a great premiere. This episode was wow to me. But I'm excited to talk about it because I want to know if everybody else saw what I saw because I saw some pretty interesting stuff that happened, and I noticed that some people are commenting in different opinions of what happened today. Um, and let's see. Like, I feel like it's really easy to get upset with the women in the villa, because they're emotional. But I do feel like some of these guys were really being very disrespectful. Hey, Brandy. Yeah, it like it went from premiere easygoing. Yes, Bergie got dumped, but then we got the text at the end, so we knew everything was gonna be great. And then the episode started, and it was like, whoa. So, first we have uh, Anna talking, and she's basically saying she couldn't force a connection. She does feel guilty about Bergie leaving, but end of the day, uh, there's nothing she could do about it. Um, and so while she's really sad, she is just, gonna, move on. Per se, we're gonna get to it because I see a lot of people going after my girl Destiny, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. She is absolutely correct in how she handled this. He disrespected her, and I think that the editing left out something that would make it more clear to people. But he said what happened, and people are glossing over it as if it's not a big deal what he said in the morning. So we're going to get to this. Exactly. I agree. So next thing we see is Anna's upset, but Bergie's having the time of his life. He gets a text that says it's a second chance at love. Grab his swimwear, head to the hideaway, and he has a hot tub date with Carmen and Hannah. Hashtag throuple up. And he said this is probably the second best thing that's ever happened to him. The first thing was Love Island, and now this. And we start to see Bergie is really like getting out of his shell. Like all of this that happens seems to like really give him the confidence to like take his journey like by the balls, I would say. And so we meet Carmen, she wants someone fit and confident. She wants someone obsessed with her. She wants someone that she can build with, and she is ready to step on toes to get it. And then we have Hannah. She is a person looking for love. She has no time to waste, and she knows what she wants right now, and she needs someone who knows what they want as well. And so we see they actually sent in some girls who were like dead serious. And I think it's like kind of a contrast to what we had last night, which is like Anna saying, oh, she wants to get married, but not really entertaining anybody but her type. And then Jasmine, who's like blowing off Victor, who I feel like those are the two guys who are definitely there to look for something long term. And they both got blown off by all the women. Um, Keenan, I feel like, is a surprise because when we get to it, like, Keenan seems to have gotten what he wanted. So they go up to the hot tub, and he left with nothing, and they're like, yeah, and you're gonna come back with everything. And Carmen said she likes blondes, and he's like, good, because you're probably the one that I like the most. And he's looking for a wife, and she says she loves that he is serious about looking for a relationship. And he's like, at this point I have nothing to lose. Appreciates like it's so funny that Anna's dead set on Leo, and Leo, exactly. It's like the antithesis of what they're looking for. They keep going after, and it's like, so you guys like are absolutely toxic in your what you want, and then they sent in these two bombshells that feel like the two healthiest ones to like actually go after what they want. Um, and it's really funny actually. So we see that everybody's getting ready for the end of the night. um, Cassie asks Destiny, are you looking forward to cuddling? She says maybe. um, Anna asks Marco if he's still open. He says he is, which, again, not a problem, but maybe you should have mentioned that to Destiny. I I I don't think it's a problem him being open. I think it's about communication. But he's also 22. KK, Cassie, and Destiny wonder what the guys are talking about. And they're basically saying they can't believe that they're still here, especially since poor Bergie is gone. Um, Next, we see the guys come. The throuple comes out of the hideaway hot tub and into the hideaway, and it's basically Sherpa Palace. Everything is Sherpa, so it looks comfy. And Bertie says he's excited for the night. It can't get better than this. All three of them get into bed, and he's right in the middle. And then, like I said, I think Virgie's out of his shell because he says, "Okay, let's have sex," and they both laugh at him. So they took it well, because it could have gone a different way. But yeah, he's excited with where he's at. So we see for the end of the night, KK and Keenan are like cuddled up, like face to face, and Cassie and Leo just like really touchy feely. But Marco and Destiny are like facing the opposite way. And when we wake up the next morning, Anna is like sad because she got no cuddles. And like, yeah, well, you made sure your guy left the villa. And KK is it mentions him like, well, it's sad to see Virgie go. It's like a crazy day. And they all jump onto Anna's bed. And then we see in the hideaway, Virgie said, I got no, I forget what he said, but he's just like excited to start the day, and he's ready to like just go out there for it. Um, Now this is the part that I think a lot of people seem to have missed. So Marco gets up, and says that he feels good about his couple, but they didn't do anything last night. And Leo says he feels good about his couple, but he still feels like there's a what if with Anna. So then we go to the girls, and Cassie said she doesn't want to throw everything into her relationship with Leo, which, good job, smart. She obviously saw some red flags there, even with them being touchy feely. Anna wants to talk to Leo and tells Cassie this and open and honest, and she's like, go ahead, do what you got to do. Apparently, KK and Keenan kiss and did some other things. Keenan is very happy with the other things and the kissing and the cuddling. Marco mentions that he is hypersexual. Now remember, Marco's the one that has a 72 body count, has barely ever been in a relationship, never brought anybody to meet his mother because she was sick and she didn't want to meet his situationships. And he feels like him and Destiny were not sexual enough the night before, and he needs to explore other connections. Did anybody else catch that he said this? Perche did. Marco is mad that Destiny didn't do anything sexual with him, so he's trying to move to somebody he thinks is going to give that to him. Exactly, especially after hearing that Keenan and KK, who had a great connection, because I feel like connection-wise, it the way it was felt yesterday was like KK and Keenan, Marco and Destiny, and then Leo and Cassie. So all of a sudden, you can't be with her, or you gotta be like fully open because you didn't do nothing the night before. Okay, and let's all keep this in mind as he proceeds to have conversations with her later on in the day. So the girls in the hideaway says, "Oh, let's cheers to Bergie's second day," and there Carmen's like, "Let's fucking go," and fuck shit up, and Hannah's like ready to go, and next thing we know, outside the the guys get a text. So everybody huddles around in front of the entrance of the hideaway, and it says something about special delivery, wake up, shake up, and the girls walk out of the hideaway. And they're excited to meet them, but they said, "Hey, we're missing one person in our throuple." And Bergie comes busting out of the highway, says, "I'm back," and everybody rushes to him, except for Anna, which was weird. And runs to him and starts hugging him. Anna's like, "What is the hell? What the hell is going on?" And it was like really funny because I think she was like, "Hey, this is not fair. How come he wasn't dumped?" It just felt like at first she was like disappointed that he was not fully dumped, and I couldn't understand why. Because it literally had nothing to do with you, but now you're single. So he tells them what happens, how he got a hideaway date with the two girls. They slept in the same bed together. And they asked him, like, well, was there any connection? He said, of the two girls, he absolutely likes Carmen. He would get to know her. And on the other side of the villa, the girls are welcoming Hannah and Carmen. And they ask them what's their type, what are they, looking for. And they kind of like are evasive about it. I said, like, basically, listen, none of your men is safe. We're going to talk to all of them. And my whole thing is, this is fair because they're bombshells, and that's what they're supposed to do. And it's the second day. And so they do get up and go and talk to the boys. And Destiny was a little jealous. But when they go over, they ask who are they coupled up with. And Keenan is basically like he's wifed up, but not wifed up, but basically wifed up. And I'm shocked at this because the girls are gorgeous, but really, I mean, he could be, but I think like the man was set on KK the minute he saw her, and he has not seemed to every time anybody talks to him about that girl, he has not deviated from her since. So Leo says that he is with Cassie and they have a great bond, but he's also interested in Anna. Marco says he's with Destiny. He likes women of color. He likes women with dark hair, but he is open. Victor says he's with Jasmine, but they're basically friends. And they ask them what are their types, and they basically are like, they don't have really types, but Um, Victor says he likes women that are more mature. And he said older. And they're like, you looking for an older woman? And he's like the oldest guy in there. So they had to help him with his verbiage. He says mature. But then, I mean, Hannah starts saying the buzzwords. She hates dating apps. She hates the club scene. I was like, and you just saw Victor's face just light up. It's like, hello, Victor. Um, and then the next thing you know, the girls get a date text. And they get to pick any guy to go outside the villa and go on a date. So Hannah picks Victor, who's sitting next to her, and Carmen picks Leo. And I was just like, what am I missing here? Because why would you pick Leo? Leo just told you that he's got two other girls that he's got problems with. Why are you trying to get in the middle of that? But she picks Leo. Victor's excited. He likes what they were both saying about what they want in a relationship. And it's basically kind of what he's looking for. He he was fine because he was in a friendship couple, but Cassie feels mugged off, guys. Leo basically brushes past her, says nothing to her, just like goes to go run and get ready, and she's like, "What the hell?" And Jasmine says she's fine, but um, like it is what it is. Leo says he's tight in a tight spot, but he's ready to get to know Carmen. And, and so they head on a date, and again Leo says absolutely nothing to Cassie. And I was like, so do you actually like Cassie? I'm starting to wonder. Or is it that you like that A, she can speak Spanish, and B, that she likes to be touchy feely? Because other than that, I'm not seeing where you giving her any respect and even being in a couple with her. So, um, the girl, the girls say bye. Well, Jasmine says bye, Victor. He said bye, girls. Leo says nothing to Cassie. Doesn't look her way. Nothing. It was nuts, guys. V's like, I feel like Leo isn't attracted to. See, I'm wondering that too, because what the heck? Carmen and Anna both look alike. He said that that's what his ex-girlfriend looks like: blonde hair, green eyes, and like tall and lanky. So I'm wondering if that's more his type, and he was just trying to try a more Hispanic girl. Possibly, it's possible. Because Leo was giving the most eye contact, and I assume he wanted to talk to her. Yeah, that's what ended up. That's what they said on the date. We'll get to that part. Um, Leo likes no one. He's there for vacation. I can say that. I can see. I listen. I can listen. And this is the thing. If that's the case, fine. But that is not the way Leo has been. Like even on this date, that's not the way he presented things to Carmen. He presented it that I. This, how old is Leo? I think he's like 23 or so. I, this 23-year-old, am past my whole phase, and I'm looking for the love of my life, or eventually to evolve into the love of my life. That's kind of what I got from it. Oh, I can absolutely see this. I can absolutely see this. Oh, is he 21? That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's giving a little Tyreek and all. See, this is the thing. I believe that Tyreek came in here in the UK villa to like literally just again Toby's his bestie, came to wreck shit up and keep it moving, and then he met Ella. And the thing is, the difference between that situation and this situation, I don't think Leo's met his Ella yet. So this right here, this might be what we might end up getting. He might end up being date guy, and not in a good way. So we all have to watch out for that. So Anna is talking to Virgie, and he talks about how glad he is to be back, and he was like, Carmen is on his list, and Hannah is gorgeous, so he wouldn't mind be couple up with her. And he's like, I got to do this twice. He's happy, and she's just feels like she's talking to a totally different person. This is not the person that left. And she's like he's so much more open, and he even like goes and does a cannonball into the pool, and we, like I said, we just see a different Virgie, like just totally different. So on the date, I can't, like, the one thing about Love Island USA that I hate is I hate the dates. The food looks like they went to the worst grocery store and picked up whatever looked personally edible, and like the only thing they give them is some champagne, and I need them to do better on these dates. I'm not asking for super dates, but like in the UK it feels like they get better like just dates, like I don't know. Hey TA, thank you for coming. I'm so glad you could catch me live too. So they pop champagne and they talk, and he's like, he's big into family. He has a twin, apparently a twin sister, and Carmen says that she's a daddy's girl, and Leo says he values people who also values family. And he says that she asks him when was his last relationship. So she's like asking the serious questions up front, and maybe that was Cassie's mistake, is not asking him these questions up front. And he says his last relationship was 2 years ago, so he's only 21. That means that this was like his college girlfriend, and that he broke up with her, and he feels like he's ready for a relationship, and he feels like he already went through his whole phase. And as Persei says, I am so confused because he's still in his whole phase. Exactly. Like, what? Where's the past tense? Like, where's the past tense? So then we get Cassie and Jasmine talking, and Jasmine's annoyed. She's annoyed that Victor went on this date. Oh wait, sorry. This is Cassie being annoyed. My bad. That this is Cassie's first annoyance about him just going off on the date and basically ghosting her. She said he didn't even look my way. It was like nothing at all. And then we have Hannah and Victor's date. So I'm confused about like what Victor is saying, and it could be the accent and how he was translating things, because he says he feels good. It felt good for him to be chosen. He also likes to be family oriented, um, and he likes someone who is as well. He Hannah has younger twin sisters. She's very close to her mom, so she's also family oriented. And I thought their date was really good. You guys tell me which date you think was better. Um, I felt like I saw a connection between them two. Now we get Jasmine and Anna's date, and this is where Jasmine is annoyed because she felt like her and Victor started to bond, and she's annoyed that they got interrupted by a date. And I was like, but last night you said you didn't even want to like continue talking to him because you were not ever going to give up going out. So I'm confused. Like, I know you guys had shared a kiss, but like, what happened? Is it because a new girl came in and could potentially steal your man and leave you single? Or like, did you finally realize by letting down your wall a little bit that you actually had a guy who could potentially be a great guy for you? I need more words so that I can understand what's going on, Jasmine, because you're running hot and cold for me, so I think you might be running hot and cold for him. Just personally. Oh wait, not just me. Charlotte says Jackson confused me. Okay, I thought it was just me because I'm like, where are we getting this? I don't understand. Um, so then we go back to the dates. Oh, and then Anna starts talking about Leo again and how Leo's her vibe, and they both are like Cassie will be okay even though she's her best friend. And somebody said it here, Brandy. The way Anna keeps saying Cassie will be okay with me being open, I'm like, can we like, are we watching the same Cassie? Because I feel like behind her eyes, she's not okay. Like, she's saying yes, okay, but I don't feel like she's really okay with this entire situation. So I don't know what they're paying attention to. TA says Jasmine surprised me about how she felt throughout Victor going on a date. What changed? I want to know because I don't understand it. I do not understand what changed in the last. It wasn't even 24 hours. I don't know what happened. It was weird. So we're back on Carmen and Leo's date, and he's like, why did you pick me? And she's like, I just felt an instant connection. And he's like, oh yeah, it was same for me. I said to my head, I like her energy, and it comes down to just the eye contact. I feel like you're very confident, and he absolutely was so excited and loved to be on a date. Um, and I'm like, okay, so you just like to be chose. So then he goes into like how she basically reminds him of his ex-girlfriend and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, so she is more your type. So why did you say that? Oh no, he did say. I think he did say yesterday that they both were his type. Cassie is one of his types, and Anna was one of his types. So listen. I get it. They're both your type, but you can't have two girls, let alone three. Why are people trying to be in a throuple? I do not understand it. Cassie's gonna start hanging with sisters because she's not gonna. Oh yeah, no, not at all. Uh, and it's weird. Like why? I don't know why she keeps speaking for Cassie. Because I keep saying when I see them having the conversation, I'm like, yeah, Cassie's not okay with this. Like, and you should see that she's not okay with it. Like, do what you got to do, but stop trying to say that she's okay with it. Because I don't think she's okay with it. Um, so then we have the most annoyingest conversation that I think the entire episode. Marco pulls Destiny, and he's basically like, "Oh yeah, so I'm gonna start chatting to other girls. We had a great connection, but I feel like I should be open to other girls." And she's like, then why did you kiss me? And he says, oh, because last night was last night and it was great. And I was like, oh, you are fucking disrespecting her right now. Because why in the hell wouldn't you tell her, like, we're having a good time, but I'm open to seeing other girls? Then also, why would you be upset that she didn't do anything physical with you that morning? And why are you not stating you realize that you also are very sexually oriented and you're going to want somebody who will be physical with you really quickly? And so I'm wondering if he tried something last night and she rejected him, because it felt like it was they were fine and then they weren't. And I feel like he probably tried something and she was not ready for it because it was night one, and he's lying now and saying, oh, it's this the second day in the villa, I can be open. Then why wasn't those conversations had before this? And then you're trying to make her out to be crazy because, like, well, you're walking around here like a macho man, like you have everything under control. You're going to speak to all the girls, and he gets offended by that. But I understood what she was saying. Like, you all, like last night, you were all remember we talked about this, about the kiss, because some people were not like not not believing him about that kiss, and some of us were like, no, I think he was genuine about the kiss. But it feels like he wasn't really genuine about the kiss. It was like he was pretending he was all into her, and then he switched it up when the nighttime came and there was no fucking. Because what the hell, what show did he think he was coming on? Not even in Temptation Island, not Temptation Island, Too Hot to Handle. Do you guys start fucking the first day? Because you're not supposed to be. I just, I see a lot of people upset at Destiny for the way that she reacted to him, but I feel like it's valid because, first of all, he's lying to her about the reasoning he chose not to stay, like, fully getting to know just her, which is fine if you don't want to just get to know her, but be honest about the reasons why. Like, absolutely ridiculous that you're lying to her and trying to make it seem like she's being crazy and she attacked you. So they go back and forth for a little bit, and it's like, at the end of this conversation, it's like, let's be open. But Destiny walks up because she's pissed, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Shanice says Destiny should have never kissed that boy. Probably not at this point. The kisses that seems to be the issue of contention, but I think it was the entire thing. Per se says, I think she did reject him because, remember, she said, I usually wouldn't kiss somebody that early. Exactly. So I think he probably tried to do something the night before, and then all of a sudden she did not want to do anything, and then he all of a sudden woke up and was like, oh, I've gotta talk to other girls because I need somebody to go fuck me tomorrow. Personally opinion. Marco switched up so quick on Jasmine. I think you mean Destiny, and being disrespectful towards her. I swear, I felt like he was not respectful at all, to her. And he was trying to, it was passive aggressive. Like, he was trying to come across like, oh, don't you see what I'm doing? I am being the good guy here. I am telling you up front that I'm going to be open with other girls. Like, it's not like I'm not telling you. And she's saying, okay, but you could have made those statements before we kissed in front of the ocean under the sunset, and you acted like this was it for you. And he's then like, oh, why are you getting upset? It was just a kiss. But for some people, it is not just a kiss. For some people, a kiss means a lot. And Destiny is one of those people. Be clear. Marco is moving mad and being disrespectful. I agree. She had a right to be upset with him, but she's older. I feel like she should have been cautious with him because he's too young. I also agree with this. I was very surprised. I had her coupling up with Keenan because I think the age difference is a little closer. But listen, Keenan's wifed up, so that ain't happening. But I was surprised that she didn't go for somebody else. But I think he looked older to her, and she didn't realize that he was younger. And it's also probably the reason why she's just like, oh, well, fuck you, because I wouldn't go for you anyway because you're younger, and you're basically acting like an immature prick at this point. Marco should have talked to Jasmine. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, you should, at this point, it feels like you didn't pick Jasmine. You regret not picking Jasmine because you didn't get anything from Destiny, and that if you could have just picked Jasmine, that maybe you would have gotten something last night. But again, that is not fair to the girls because you just like to have sex and keep it moving. That is not why they are in this villa. Brandy says Marco thought Destiny was going to be like Cassie, but she's not. Marco wants to play the field like bestie Leo, and Leo learning Cassie and feeling. Yes, I could see this as well. Like, just like I said, I can see that him being upset that Keenan and KK were doing all sorts of things the night before, with no problem. But again, they seem to have a totally different connection, and KK and Destiny are two different people. KK is 26. She is a grown woman. She's going to do what she wants to do. Destiny has decided that, listen, a kiss is important. A kiss means something to me, and I'm not just going to have relations with anybody. I respect them both. Listen, at the end of the day, as a woman, you get to do what you feel like you're most comfortable doing sexually. It is not about what the other person wants you to do. It's what you feel like. So if you want to have sex on the first date, have sex on the first date. That is not where Destiny was. Priscilla says it's convenient for him to say that it's just a kiss when he has a, exactly. So like, for him, a kiss probably means nothing. A kiss is probably foreplay to this mofo. I think Marco did say he's attracted to women of color. If he is, he should know not to play with. Fair, fair. He did say that he's attracted to women of color. I saw a lot of people who think that he was using Destiny and he's not into her. I obviously that's not the case, because then he wouldn't be dumping her if he was using her. I personally think that he was interested in her, but he also thought that they were gonna fuck, and that's not what happened. So there's that. So Marco is mad. He goes to the guys and he's like, "Oh, she called me a macho man. How dare me?" Basically, acted like it was a slur. Maybe for him it is. Destiny goes back to the girls and she's upset, and she's like, he wants to be open now. I'm just like, why didn't you tell me that before we kissed? And they're like, yeah, like he's being disrespectful to you. Um, and so then the people come back from the date, and the boys immediately call Leo and Victor over, and then they start chanting and dancing, and it's again, this is how, like, the immaturity of the boys. And while I really like Hannah and Carmen, kind of upset they didn't send in boys. Kind of upset they didn't send in boys, because these men are not men. Most of these men are boys. Pretty. Carmen and Hannah go off and talk alone. Cassie tried to call them over, and they didn't come over. And then Cassie and Jasmine seem upset because they see the boys go over and it basically ignore them. So this is the part with Victor that I was so confused, because I couldn't tell if he was saying Hannah or Jasmine. He says Hannah is the one he's more comfortable with. That's what I thought I got from him. But then when he had a conversation later with Jasmine, he said she was the one that he was more comfortable with, and I was absolutely so very confused at that point. Leo said he loved his date with Carmen. Feels like he believes her connection it is there, and she connected with him. And I know he said like something like, with Cassie and him, he feels like there's a bond. With Anna and him, he's attracted to her. They're very flirty. And then with Carmen, he just feels like they just connected off the bat, and that, so for him, Cassie and Carmen were like neck and neck. And I mean, fair, you've only known one of them for 24 hours and the other one for less than that. So it's possible that he likes them both in the same or similar way. Marco was interested in Destiny. He just seemed like he being physical with the girl. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's 21. He does not know how to be in a, so kind of like a tie. He doesn't know how to be in a relationship. He doesn't know how to approach a relationship, and he thinks all a relationship is sex, and that is not how you build a relationship. Victor and Jasmine are so confusing. contradicting their statements just to stay together. Yeah, it was so weird because I personally felt like, and you guys tell me in the chat, like I personally felt like Victor and Hannah's date went really well, and it seemed like that's what he was saying, and I feel like they have more of a connection, like a sexual and more connection than he had with Jasmine. So, but then he and her talking, and he says that there was no spark with him and Hannah, and that he's more comfortable with her, especially after the game. He didn't plan on coming in here to kiss anybody, but he kissed her in the game, and it made him more comfortable. And she's like, oh, she's glad that he said that because he's very respectful. And he's like, yeah, I like having deep conversations, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, but I feel like you and Hannah had more deep conversations than you and Jasmine. I don't think Victor likes Jasmine. He just doesn't want to hurt her feelings, or maybe he feels bad for getting to know someone. Yeah, I was very confused. I need to figure out what is going on there, because I actually prefer him with Hannah. So I do hope that he does like Hannah. I will be a little bit disappointed if he doesn't. But maybe Victor doesn't like women of color. I'm so confused. Then we have a conversation between Destiny and Marco again. So he wants to be friends, and he feels like, she disrespected him because, she called him a macho man. But he's like, we sleep together at night. I want us to be able to like maybe start as a friendship and like go from there. But I'm going to be open to talking to other girls and move forward. And he's like, he respects her. And she's like, well, I don't respect you. And I said, she said what she said, because I understand. I would not be shocked and surprised if she walks out of this villa and says that, yeah, he tried something, she shut him down, and then that is why they went their separate ways, personally. So then Cassie and Leo Talk, and she basically confronts him for not acknowledging her all day. Like she didn't hear from him, see him, anything all day. And he's like, he's sorry. He just was excited to go on a date. But yeah, he's into all these girls, but he's still into her. But he's into the other two girls who look similar and the same, but different than her. So she's like, okay. And he's like, well, so can we agree to be open? And he said, because he's interested in the girls. And she's like, okay, fine, we can be open. And so he's like, oh, does that mean no cuddling? And she's like, no, we can still cuddle. So then Carmen talks to Marco, and whatever they were saying, I blanked out. I was like, there's absolutely no chemistry with these two. And then Anna and Leo talk again. And again, Cassie apparently is her bestie. But basically she's flirting with him, and he's like, oh, this is where he said it. He's like, yeah, the way Anna's with him, they're not friends. Everything is sexual, flirting. With Cassie, they're bonded, but he needs it to not be so surface. And with Carmen, it's a great vibe, like an instant connection. So Leo and Anna get up, and when they get up, they walk out. They walk off I think they were by the fire pit, and they're holding hands. And Cassie and Jasmine, I think it was. Oh no, Cassie and KK see it, and Cassie is pissed. She's pissed, so pissed that in her ITM she's like, forget it, I ain't cuddling with him. And she's absolutely like, you're talking to the two other girls, and one of them you're holding her hand, like. So Leo just, and I guess his age, he's 21, just no etiquette, and I understand, like, he's saying that he had a girlfriend 2 years ago, but like, is this how, like, to me this kind of says, well, I see why y'all broke up, because if this was how you were acting with the other girls, in college, yeah, I see why your girlfriend broke up with you, because that's absolutely ridiculous. He has no etiquette on coupling up. So then we get Carmen and Hannah talking on the terrace. Um, Carmen is upset with how long Cassie and Leo were talking. Did I skip something? Oh, I did skip during the evening when they were getting ready. Destiny planned on being open. Anna was gonna wing woman Bergie, and Carmen planned to talk to him, but they skipped over their conversation, so we didn't get to it. But Carmen's upset with how long Leo was talking to Cassie, and she's like, she's gonna confront him to see, like, she didn't realize they had such a strong connection, and she feels like he's being disingenuous with it. I feel like he kind of is. I don't think he knows, like, three girls. I think it's too much for him to handle, and I think he needs to, like, focus on one or two. Not like, this is not working. Like, even two, I think, might be too much. So they get a text, and it says it's the secret steal. They have 24 hours to steal a boy, and when they steal a boy, it'll leave two girls single and vulnerable. And they decide whether or not they're going to tell the rest of the villa. And they decide they ain't saying shit. And so that was the end of the episode, guys. Listen, I can't say the episode was bad. I thought it was pretty good. The drama was dramaing. The couples were coupling. I would like to see more of KK and Keenan connection, but you know how they be doing when you actually find a couple. They want to hide you, especially when you're back. So, let's see more of these comments. What did I miss? Yeah, that's he dropped her because she didn't cuddle with him. Period. It's so funny. Anna is set on Leo, and Leo is not serious at all. He is not serious at all. If he is serious, he does not know how to be serious. So this ain't working. Let's see what else. 21 is and wanting to get settled down. Please, you're just getting started. I agree. I think anybody who come in here saying that they're 21 looking for a relationship, I felt like Cassie was the most honest about it. She's there looking for a good time and possibly a relationship. I don't know how old Hannah and Carmen is. I have to find out. Let's see what else we have here. I don't think. I don't think Leo gets much attention outside of the show. You think? That's a good theory. I can see that. Hmm. It's possible. I think it's always possible. That's always possible. Leo's really enjoying all the attention from the girls, and he's not able to handle it. Yeah, like, I think that might be more of what it is. Like, because how many opportunities do you have to have three or four beautiful girls, like, hanging off your every word? So this is the thing. How do I feel about Bergie? I like Bergie because I like that he is genuine. He seems to genuinely want to find love. He wants to genuinely find his person. I don't think he's bad looking. He's not necessarily my type, but I'm sure he's somebody's type. I think he has a good personality. He doesn't have a bad body. I just, is his person in the villa yet? And if they're not, well, at this point, it could be boy's choice um, for the next recoupling, unless they send in another boy or two. But then that's a lot of couples to be dumping, so we'll see. But I like Virgie. I want to see him find somebody. The problem is that's what happened with Corey season 3, where I liked Corey. I wanted him to find somebody, and then he ended up staying so long that he got used by Olivia to get to the end, and that was terrible. So I don't want that for him. So I don't know. Like, I can't deal with that. Like that made me so sad because I actually liked Corey, and I think if he had found somebody who was serious about actually having a relationship with him, he probably would have stayed together with that person. But I like Bertie. I hope he finds a connection. See, same thing. Um, so that was the end of the episode, guys. Listen. I can't hate on the episode. I think it was really good. It just felt like it we went on like a speed train last night, and it was like we were in Mexico and the speed train took us all the way to UK and like overnight, and so it was just like, okay, why are we going so fast? Like, why are we going so fast? But so I'm worried. Pacing is a lot on a show, so I need the producers to pace, like, I understand we only have 6 weeks, but please pace the show so that you don't ruin it. And yes, we don't need someone to be voting out of sympathy. Like right now, that's what's happening in the UK, and it basically is ruining the show. And I don't want that for him. Like, I don't want it for him to feel like he's just a sympathy vote, or he's getting our sympathy vote. I feel like he can actually find somebody. So we'll see if they send in somebody, or maybe it's Carmen, or maybe it's somebody else, and so we'll see how that works. Oh no, hi Katrina, no problem. We're just about to end because I've been on here for almost an hour, but I don't know what you thought of the episode so far. It was a good episode. It just felt like from the from the premiere to this episode, a lot happened. So I don't feel like, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter. I do not feel like the girls are like totally in the wrong here. I do feel like some of the girls are actually reading what's happening to them actually properly. These men were disrespecting them because A, other women came in, or B, they weren't as sexually forward as they want them to be. And I just don't feel like that's fair. So I do wish they would bring in more men, but this is what we see time after time. The men get to have power, and the women are going to be fighting for power. So I don't know what's going to happen with Destiny. I don't know what's going to, I think she's definitely vulnerable because Marco doesn't want to stay with her, but I don't see either Carmen or Hannah coupling up with Marco, to be fair. I can see Jasmine maybe moving to Marco, maybe Hannah moving to Victor if we're reading it right and he likes her. So if that would leave Jasmine single and vulnerable. And then with Carmen, I could absolutely see her, if she thinks that Leo is open and available to her. I can absolutely see her just stealing Leo just to have time. I wish somebody would get to know Birdie and just actually get to know him. So we'll see what happens. But if nothing else, guys, so I will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow we will be catching up on all our Love Island UK recaps that we've missed for the week. And then tomorrow night I will be back here at 10:15 to chit chat about Love Island USA. Thanks, TA. I'm glad I could keep doing these recaps. So the schedule for right now is, I think Monday through Sunday this week is the episodes, but I have to find out if they're doing any clip shows. So if they're doing any unseen bits or clip shows this season, I will not be covering those. I don't have the capacity to cover those shows. And then next week, I believe the show will be on every day but Wednesdays going forward. So on Wednesday will be the Big Brother 25th anniversary special, and then on Thursday I will be doing a recap with Janelle from she actually did some Summer House Martha's Vineyard recaps with Chantel on Reality Realness channel. So we'll be recapping that, and we'll be doing some Big Brother content this season, which I'm excited for. And then I'll be doing my Bachelorette recap, I think, on Friday. So we're chugging along. You Love Island USA. I just need you guys to pace yourself because you're going a little fast here, but we hopefully they realize that and slow things a bit down and show more of KK and Keenan. I know they wifed up, but like, can we see them? Not in the background. So we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Hopefully that is what we get. I will see ya. Have a good night.